How many dogs do you have?
How many dogs do I have? Well, we have 8 Huskies that are Siberian Huskies, and then in the house we have one little tiny weenie dog, a Dachshund, and her name's Daisy Mae. And the Huskies, 7 of them run as a team. One of them, Muck Tuck, is retired because he's too old to run now, but he's still got a good spirit to him, and he's pretty healthy. But he doesn't like to run anymore. He just can't keep up. What happened was the team was going too fast for him. He just couldn't keep up. And so I knew he was too old. But he gets some special attention. When we run, he gets to come in the house. So I have 8 Siberian Huskies, and all of them are spayed and neutered. We don't breed. I'm not into the selling puppies. That's not what I want to do. You know, there are those who carefully breed, and that's important that we have that. But nevertheless, that's just not what I do. So that's what I have, and they're a wonderful family, especially when my children are all grown and gone.
How do you believe that your animals make you a better person?
Boy, do they make me a better person. I think so, because for one thing, everybody, you know, has inside feelings and inside thoughts and inside things, hurt, sometimes things that hurt. And sometimes you're depressed or maybe discouraged. And I can talk to my dogs about anything. And they will listen to me, and they never complain. They never tell me to shut up. They just listen to me. And they, you know, and then, you know, I could go to talk about things like having to take care of them. You know, we have to make plans on our vacations that usually my wife will make a trip, and I make trips a lot of times separately. We don't get to do that many trips together, because we got to make sure those are taken care of. And so knowing that you have a responsibility, and that you have that responsibility is more important than the things you want to do for fun. Of course, they're fun to me. I mean, that's my life. I can't, in the mornings I get up and eat breakfast, and I look forward to going out and feeding them, getting the water, even having to get the bucket and scoop up all their poop out of the yard, and then sitting down and letting them just crawl all over me and just you know, let me pet them and talk to them and tell them whatever's going on. And a lot of times they will really make your spirit feel better, because they love you unconditionally. They don't care if I'm ugly or if I'm fat or if I'm old or if I'm young. They don't care. They love you just for who you are. And that makes anybody a better person.
How do they keep you safe?
How do I keep them safe?
How do they keep you safe?
How do they keep me safe? Well, I don't know if they really do keep me safe, except for one thing. In the backyard, they all run around together. Okay. Now we live in a mountain canyon, and there's actually mountain lions that have come down into the canyon. I've not seen any, but you know, in years when there's a lot more snow, and the mountain lions will come further down. But animals like that see these dogs as a pack, and they would stay away from them. So it's kind of like, you know, it's just a natural thing of animals to, you know, like there's a bunch of them and only one of me, so they stay away. And so in one sense, they do protect us in that regard. I've never really thought too much about it, because I'm the one who keeps them safe, you know. But that would probably be the biggest thing. You know, they don't bark a lot. The only time my dogs, Huskies, now the little weenie dog, she barks all the time. But the Huskies, when I feed them, when I hook them up to run, or when I'm loading them up in the truck to go somewhere, that's when they make noise. But other than that, they're pretty quiet dogs. But if in the night I hear one of them barking, I know something's out there. You know, they don't just bark just to bark. You know, I know something's out there, and so then I will, you know, I'll get up and go check on it. You know, and things like that. So they're family. You know, we kind of take care of each other.
How do they make you healthy?
How do they make me healthy? Well, I got to thinking maybe they make me healthy if I ate their dog food, but that's not a pretty good idea, so I don't do that. They do get good food. I spend a lot of money on their food, and when I buy food, it's a major purchase. I'll go get $300 or $400 worth of dog food at one time, and I get some of the best dog food there is. You know, as far as my health is concerned, probably the biggest thing is that when I run them, it's a lot of work. It's a physically demanding sport. And it's a whole lot of work, and especially when you're on a sled and you're going up a hill, you have to get off and run and push right along with them. I don't know if you may have saw in the video where the mushers were pushing along behind, climbing a mountain, you know, and just working right along. So they do keep you healthy in that regard. And in the summertime here, when it's really hot, you know, I keep them cool. We actually have an air-conditioned dog room that they can go in. Has doggy doors. They can go in this room, and it's got cool concrete on either side, and it's got air conditioning going. And so we keep them cool like that. So a lot of times I think, you know, a lot of times when you get retired, it's easy to stay in the house all the time. Well, my dogs make me come outside. So I end up spending more time outside probably than the average retired guy does, you know. So I guess that would be a way to make me healthy.
Okay.
Okay?
And as your last question, how do they provide companionship and comfort?
Well, boy, that's the best question of them all. They are my best companions. I have traveled all the way across the United States with them. I have traveled from Tennessee all the way to British Columbia, and at night I crawl in the back of the truck where we have straw in the truck and pull my sleeping bag out and slept with them. When I ran the Iditarod, when I was training for the Iditarod, I would camp out in the snow and would camp with the dogs and pull them up into my sleeping bag to keep me warm. I just know their personality. Every dog has its own personality. And like I said a while ago, they love me no matter what I do, no matter what I am, they love me. They don't love me because of, you know, well, you know, he's really strong and courageous. You know, they don't love me because I'm good looking, which I'm not. They love me just for who I am, and they give me so much comfort and so much pleasure. We have an enormous amount of pleasure in our dogs. And when I get home this afternoon, I'll go out and I'll just spend time with them and just let them love me. And there's no way I can describe the comfort and the pleasure that I find just in the relationship you have with your dogs. And whether it's one or whether it's 8, you know, they're just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I've had all my life, and we've always had dogs. And I think that parents who don't let their kids have a pet are depriving their children of something very important. That's my opinion. So, thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any animals?
Yes.
How do you believe animals make our lives better?
They make our lives better by helping us do simple tasks.
What are some ways that you can think of that animals help us medically?
They help like diabetes. There's ice in dogs, and diabetes dogs that help you know when you're gonna have low blood sugar.
What are some responsibilities that you can get from animals?
You can feed them and play with them.
And what can animals teach us?
They can teach us responsibility and being kind.
Now, who are you as a person?
I'm Austin Cochran.
Name five service animals.
Canine unit, fire dogs, blind dogs, sing-eye dogs, National Guard dogs, and lifeguard dogs.
Okay. What do those service animals do?
Well, a blind dog helps you see, and a canine dog helps get villains, and a National Guard dog helps find bodies in the water, and a lifeguard dog helps
You can't see me anymore.
save people from the water.
I do have a dog, yeah.
That's all we need?
Have a unibrow.
Okay, that's how do they help us?
There's more from the danger.
Who do service animals help?
Blind people, and people that are drowning, and cops, and firemen.
I don't
Okay.
think so. I don't think anybody's ever
Do you know anyone personally who has a service animal?
No.
Identify yourself.
I'm the dog protecting me.
How do animals personally affect you?
Well, it affected me because there were really a lot of responsibility, like washing them, bathing them, and picking up their food. It was really gross.
And
They're great companionship because if you're sick, they would just lie down with you, or you're bored, and you have no one to play with, they'll just play with you and you can just toss a ball to them.